Hello and welcome to 20 Lore Pro. I am your announcer today, SirAshtown. In previous rounds, we've had Katie and Clara to help with the analysis, but we're coming down to the wire due to just holidays and work, and so I'm going to do a couple of these rounds by myself. Not too reminiscent of 20 Lore's foundings when I would do the 1Ks and the 2Ks by myself. So you're going to get to hear myself, SirAshtown, as I provide analysis for today's tournament round. We are here with Charlie's Collectible Show's Lorcana 10K. It was an 8K that had over 218 players. So Charlie, the owner, turned the tournament into a 10K. It was a great tournament. Really enjoyed being there in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Charlie, he hosts these tournaments, 8Ks to 10Ks, every 3 or so months, and he did this one December 14th and the 15th, and we're getting to watch Kindle, aka Noimnot, as he was our 20 Lore Community Pro, as voted by y'all, the audience members, and the community members of 20 Lore Pro. If you're not a member of the 20 Lore Pro Discord, there's a link in the description. We've got almost 6,000 members in the Discord. Lots of discussion of decks, cards, set releases, just lots of things going on in the Discord. Highly encourage you to join if you're not already a member. And I mean, it was really great to have Noimnot at the tournament. He got to sit in the same seat the entire day, had a lot of fun, and we already know the outcome. We know that he went to the top 4 and played against Decandio, had a really great match, but we're getting to see his journey all along the way. So we've seen from rounds 1 all the way now until round 5. Here he is piloting his infamous Ruby Amethyst against Nate 20 Brett, piloting a Amber Steel. This could be Amber Steel's song. And I'm saying that because when you play cards like Robin Hood, the 1-drop, sorry, I don't have my card selector all set up for Brett, so I'm going to call him Brett. We don't have the card selector set up for Brett, but when players tend to play cards like Robin Hood, they're normally playing the shift line, meaning that they want more of the song options. And there's another great indicator right there with the turn 2 Ursula, which is Singer 4. And we've seen Ursula do some work. I mean, it can sing some cards that in Steel can do damage, like Strength of Raging Fire, Let the Storm Rage On. And talk about a card that you kind of want to be singing Let the Storm Rage On. This Flynn, talking exactly that. Let the Storm Rage On, sung by Ursula, takes out the Flynn. Great card to get rid of by Brett, able to draw a card as well. Now he's got more information in his hand, which is why I love that line of play where instead of questing or inking anything, you card draw, or you play the card that you know is going to help you have more information, more resources. Doing that with Ursula here, using that to sing Let the Storm Rage On is great. There's a Simba. Chooses to discard the new Simba, which is a 5-drop 5-drop uninkable, and whenever he is exerted at the end of your turn, he can untap all of your other characters. Great card to have, and we'll see how that plays out for him depending on what he drew off of that Simba. We see that Simba, though, getting brawled. Not a bad choice by Kindle, because if you're already discarding one Simba, that may indicate that you have another. But we'll see if maybe he's got the shift line with Robin Hood, but it looks like he's probably got a Rapunzel play here to draw to. Does exactly that. Seen some players who have done that in the past. Again, hitting their own characters, which Ursula is a 0/4, can take the 2 damage very well, allows you to draw 2 with the Rapunzel. Kindle wanting to get probably rid of this Ursula. It's been doing a lot of work so far this game here in round 5, game 1. And oh, it's a 1-4. But even then, it's already done so much work. It's sung Let the Storm Rage On twice. Kindle just able to get rid of it before it does anything else. Brett here, maybe looking to play an aerial, or if he's got the Robin Hood with a Whole New World line. We do see the aerial there in hand. Not a bad card, especially if you don't have a Whole New World yet. But we do see a Zeus, Along Came Zeus, great card. Mr. Smee, again, a 3/3, Quest for 2, great card in Steel. We see that card be used so much in Amethyst Steel. It quests for quite a bit. Brett trades in with the Fox into the Robin Hood, plays his own Simba. And I don't blame him for not questing. If Noimnot has a 5-drop Maui, that's a great character that could rush in and just handily take care of your Rapunzel, so not leaving it open. When next turn you can quest with that Simba, quest with Rapunzel, and at the end of the turn you can untap your Rapunzel, protecting it. Kindle playing that goat, able to gain 1 lore. We'll see what Brett can do. He can now use this Simba, which is a 5-cost character, to sing Whole New World if he wants to. Maybe he can find it here off the top of the aerial. I think he found 2. That's not what you want to have happen. Yeah, and a Lilo. Yeah, 2 Whole New Worlds and a Lilo. You can always wait too before he sings. That way he can have more ink available next turn. But not a bad choice here, even with the 2 available. He does let the Storm Rage on the goat. Mr. Smee, and there's a great quest there from Rapunzel. And now, we're watching this post the CCS 10K tournament where DeCandio played his Diggy Diggy Hole Amber Steel list. It has now become possibly the most popular version of the list, but definitely in and of itself, its own variant of the list. So it's being played a lot, but that doesn't mean that the Amber Steel Song version isn't also seeing as much play. It's still being played, and so you got to be careful and kind of figure out the early turns to determine whether or not your opponent is playing the Amber Steel Song variant or if they're playing the Diggy Diggy Hole variant. Kindle with a Lady Tremaine, and this is a great time to ink and use that Simba to sing Whole New World. If Brett commits too much to the board here, we know that Noimnot is on 6 ink, I believe. He's on 6, and if he gets 1 more, it's in Be Prepared territory. I haven't seen Kindle draw a whole lot this game, so actually playing the Whole New World here is actually probably not in his best interest. He could just quest out and then let everything untap. He does decide to play it. Yeah, look, he had a Sisu. No way to play it though. He would have had to have played a rabbit next turn. Yeah, I think just with 2 cards in Kindle's hand, not having played the Whole New World could have been a good option for Brett until Kindle presented something that forces you to do it. But by not playing Whole New World, if he did have an answer for your whole board state, you would be left in a tough spot. So it's really player's preference at that point. But because we haven't seen Kindle draw too much, it's maybe not a bad option. Something to think about for the future for sure. Now, Noimnot has a whole new grip of cards. Lots of great 4-drops to play, like Genie, which currently Brett's board, a Strength of the Raging Fire would take out. A Rabbit, great option, because even if it does get banished, you would still be able to draw a card off of its being banished. Is going to do the Maui to take care of that Simba. Doesn't want Brett to have the ability to quest for free without leaving anyone untapped. And now Brett has a great Let the Storm Rage On target, because one more damage and this Maui's gone. Which, having 7 new cards, 8 now in Brett's hand, probably has some good targets. Shift Queen decides to do the race game, which I like. This is good. Brett's put himself in a great position, even double playing a Lilo. Even if you be prepared me, I can play 2 Lilos, win the game. I think at 18 here, having answers for all of Brett's cards every turn is going to be tough. But there's a be prepared on Kindle's side of the board. Brett here at 18. At his upkeep, he'll be able to choose whether or not he wants to play both Lilos, which I'm assuming he will. It'd be great to have double Lilo into a 2-drop Mr. Smee. That's something about Lilo you have to decide before you draw. 3 for an Ariel? Ooh, a Lawrence. Yeah, that's great. Lawrence being a 4/4, as long as it has no damage, can quest for 2. If it has damage, it becomes a 0/4. Now, does Kindle have a way to deal with all of Brett's cards in the form of Be Prepared? Doesn't look like it. Looks like we're going to go to a game 2 here. Well, what a quick game 1. Congratulations to Brett for getting that first game over Kindle. It looked like the Whole New World line did pay off for Brett in that lineup. It could have been really dangerous with Noimnot not having drawn that many cards that game, but it worked out great for Brett. He was already so far ahead on board. Well, I just want to take a second again to thank y'all for watching today's video. This is round 5. Kindle is our 20 Lore Pro Community Pro, as chosen by you, the fans, you, the community members, over on the 20 Lore Pro Discord. We run polls every so often, and during the Charlie's Collectible Show 10K, right beforehand, we ran a poll where we asked the community which player of the 5 would you like to watch the entirety of all of their matches, and Kindle won. He won over DeCandio, Talman Purple, Logan, aka Xenulos, and really great to have him here. We did get to watch a lot of DeCandio's games, so if you haven't seen the main tournament, I think we had DeCandio on camera 3 times, and he was in the finals, and he does play Kindle in the top 4. So you're going to get to watch DeCandio piloting that popular Diggy Diggy Hole deck against Kindle in the top 4. So if you haven't seen the rest of the rounds, I highly recommend it, and stick around because the rest of the rounds of this tournament will be very good, because we know Kindle is going on to at least the top 4. Well, we want to thank some of our partners here at 20 Lore Pro. We want to thank GFQ Underground. They did the beautiful artwork that you see before you. Miguel Angel is the artist for that playmat, and he just did a wonderful job. We also want to thank GFQ Underground, who printed those playmats. They printed the artwork that you see on the mats before you. If you want your own 20 Lore Pro custom mat or your own custom mat, you can head on over to gfqunderground.com, order yours today. You can also hit up Miguel. He does artwork for t-shirts, for playmats, really anything you need art for. He charges by the product, which means that if you want t-shirts done, he won't charge you for the artwork, he'll just charge you for the t-shirts themselves. Really great deal. Here's Noimnot with a turn 1 Broom. Really classic that we've seen him play out. I mean, this is a tough line in the sense that you normally want to see turn 2 Flynn into turn 3 Sisu, but in Steel Song, you know that they're going to be able to get rid of your cards on board. So sometimes not playing the turn 2 Flynn exactly like Kindle's doing is a great option, and instead playing a card that is a 3/3 that cannot just be freely let the Storm Raged on. And he did it the first time, and it did not play out for him, especially with that turn 2 Ursula during the first game. So instead of having to deal with that, Noimnot decides to play his 3/3 Snake in the form of Madam Mim. And here's that turn 2 Ursula. Very reminiscent from the first game, except a turn later. Here is a huge Sisu, and again, another body on the board that cannot be let the Storm Raged on. There are cards that get pretty scary in Brett's deck, like Strength of Raging Fire, that deals damage to target character equal to the number of characters that you have on your side of the board. And so the more characters that Brett is able to play out, the stronger those cards become. Oh, there's a whiff on Ariel. It's tough to see because you have a Singer 4 in play in Ursula that could sing this turn and isn't able to do it. I think we saw Let the Storm Rage on in Brett's hand, but again, not good enough here in this situation. Here's a Genie from Kindle. And I was just thinking about how with Ursula being a 1/4, if you used the Ursula to sing Strength of the Raging Fire, you could get rid of, you couldn't even get rid of this case, actually, the Sisu, because it's an X4. Yeah, I guess just having to pass without finding anything from Ariel is the best option. There's a Whole New World. Wish he could have got it off for free off that Ariel, I'm sure. But at least he did draw into it. A lot of cards in hand. None of them appearing to be the cards that he needs. Genie, 2/4. Hard to deal with unless you're playing Zeus or you're able to sing a Zeus. Having an extra character on the board would be great for strength. Maybe trying to advance support state some. We're still early on in the Ink battle, so be prepared. Still a little ways off now. Oh, is that 2 Whole New Worlds? I know it's for sure 1. Now in this situation, Noimnot has presented Brett with a tough board to deal with because he can't let the Storm Rage on anything of value. He can't really let the Storm Rage on his own Ursula cleanly like he did in the last game to draw 4 with a Rapunzel. He'd just be offering it up to that Sisu. And in this case, Brett really only has the ability to play out characters and pass unless he wants to offer up an Ursula for free. Does do 2. He's got, I think, another Let the Storm Rage on. He does. Yeah, he's in a tough spot. I actually kind of like the idea of playing out just another character and passing, developing the board more for when you do want a Whole New World, and then being able to use what you draw off of that, hopefully a strength. In this case, he is able to get rid of Sisu, meaning that nothing by itself will take out Ursula except for Maui. Does quest in. No, I'm not here again. I think he's put himself in good positioning, making sure he's not playing out characters that can get Let the Storm Rage on, or I mean, even for that matter, strengthed. The only card right now they can do it without any other characters on board would be Zeus. And here's that popular Elsa 5th Spirit. Taps down the aerial and is going to challenge in with the snake. That way Brett doesn't have a clean way to have a Singer 5. Now he could double challenge here into Ursula to get rid of all of Brett's Singers, but then he would leave... Well, no, he could. Not a bad idea. And he does do that. Even with the 1 additional damage, I mean, Elsa's is a 2/5. It's got 1 damage on it, meaning that, again, Zeus could take it out, but that could be the case beforehand. And same thing with Genie. It's now it's a... Ooh, I'm losing myself. It's a 2/4. And it has to be Smash. It couldn't just be Let the Storm Rage On or Zeus. And most decks that are Steel Sun are not playing Smash, so I like the double trade in there. Rapunzel with no targets. That's when you kind of know that the situation is falling apart for Brett. You're not able to cleanly get good advantages with your cards like that. Here's a Medusa. And Brett, yeah, exactly. Brett sees the writing in the sand, decides to scoop it up. Noimnot just had such an aggressive board state, strong character, strong start, able to prevent Brett from being able to cleanly draw, do damage, prevent damage, and that was game 2. Well, congratulations to Kindle, aka Noimnot, for winning game 2 here. We are going to go to game 3 here in round 5 for our 20 Lore Pro Community Pro, Kindle, aka Noimnot. He is a part of Team Labyrinth, as you can see on his shirt there on the left. If you're interested in any of the content that they're making, because they do lots of things. I mean, they're always posting on Twitter, they're posting on YouTube. You can head over to the description below and follow them, and also enjoy their content because they make some great stuff. And we tend to have Kindle on the 20 Lore Pro channel at least once a set. We're not having him on this time, not because we don't want to, but it's been so busy, and we're kind of pseudo having him here anyways right now. So we want to thank Kindle for being a long-term 20 Lore Pro community member, and for just being willing to play on camera for us, for the community to watch him as he journeyed along his Charlie's Collectible Show Lorcana 10K journey. Now again, I'm SirAshtown, and it's great to be here again to announce. I normally am behind the scenes helping. I normally do the color commentary with whoever we come on board. Last time it was Jeebus. If you haven't seen the Charlie's Collectible Show Lorcana 10K main tournament stream, Jeebus did the analysis, and he did an amazing job. Jeebus, of course, being from Ink Thieves, he's a great player and really gave some good commentary and insight into competitive Lorcana during set 6 and at Charlie's. So I'm glad to be here behind the mic again, and really excited to just be a part of the community as we are looking to see what happens at the North American Continentals here in about a week. Now again, we want to thank our 20 Lore Pro partners in the bottom right of your screen right now. That's Diamond Ink Apparel. Their artist Miguel Angel did the artwork for those beautiful mats that you see before you. If you're ever in need of custom artwork, you have an idea, you want some custom art, Diamond Ink Apparel is the place to go. Head over to diamondinkapparel.com. We'll have the links for them and for their Instagram in the description below. If you're looking to have a custom playmat made, head on over to GFQunderground.com. GFQ Underground has been a long-time partner of 20 Lore Pro. They print all of our playmats. They are nice, thick mats. They're not the little tiny flimsy ones. They actually have stitching around the borders, and they are thick mats. They last a long time. So if you're looking for a great playmat at a great value, head on over to gfqunderground.com. We will be selling this mat, a version of it, I should say, during the next Charlie's Collectible show. So if you are in Stone Mountain, Georgia, you want this mat, but a different version because the winners, of course, top 4, get their own. You can come on over to our merch table and we'll be selling a version of this mat to the community. The top 4 did get this playmat that you see on the screen. So Kendall, having made the top 4, did get one. But we will have it available for the community in the future. If you also want to support 20 Lore Pro, besides liking and subscribing to today's video, you can also head on over to our merch store, which is in the link in the description below, where we sell 20 Lore merch, playmats, hoodies, hats, beanies. It's wintertime. We have lots of things for you. Here's Brett with a turn 1 Cinderella, great singer for 3. When I say singer for 3, I mean it sings for 3. Here's Kendall with a turn 1 Chernobog, mighty susceptible to a Let the Storm Rage On. We'll see if Brett decided to keep it. I would imagine he did. Here's a Simba. There's a Let the Storm Rage On. Yeah, I don't think he had a Let the Storm Rage On in the beginning, but he did have a Strength. So that makes sense to be able to keep that if you don't have the other, but was able to find it with the Simba and make the draw, developing his board, drawing his card, protecting his characters. I mean, honestly, great turn 1, turn 2 for Brett. And Simba showing why it's a pretty good card. I mean, drawing and discarding, a little bit of hand cycling there. Helps you find the things you need. But hopefully he didn't discard his only removal to that Simba instead of something else. Because if not, this Flynn with the Sisu is going to be gaining Noimnot some lore pretty quickly. And it kind of looks like that's the case. Maybe he can find one off of an aerial if that's what he's got right here. Shift Simba. Questing out. He's gonna get to be able to keep this Flynn for another turn. And that's the power though of Simba, is that it's a 5 cost character, shifts for 3, and I got to protect his other characters on the board by readying them at the end of his turn. Yeah. No, I'm not saying. I'm pretty sure that this Flynn... Never mind. He decides to bounce over the Fox, trade in with the Simba. Great play. I was going to say, even the Flynn wouldn't be long for this world if it wasn't for that turn, but... Fox there just getting rid of a great singer in the form of Simba. And I believe Simba also quests for 2, so... You don't want that character staying on the board for too long. Would be pretty brutal to see a shift Robin Hood followed up by that Simba questing out like that, but we also haven't seen the shift this game. Maybe he doesn't play it. I kind of doubt he doesn't play it, but we haven't seen it yet. I think we saw it get inked though earlier, so... Broom into Sisu, opts to not banish the Broom to draw a card. There's that shift from Robin Hood, and it's a great singer for a whole new world. Only problem is that he doesn't have his ink available to him to be able to play anything else. He can ink 1 card. Let's see if this is a strength. Yep. Strength is great right here into that Sisu. Protecting your characters from a clean challenge unless Noimnot has a Maui. Or a Mata Medusa, I guess would be the next cards to worry about. Ooh, and he decides to ink the Lilo. I say ooh, like that's an awful thing, but it's just a card that you would like to have to bring back after a Be Prepared later on in the game. Doesn't mean it's the worst thing to ink, because when it needs to get inked, it needs to get inked. There's a Maui, able to take care of Robin Hood, which will get to draw off of being banished. And we'll see what Brett can do here. He's at 9 with the Mr. Smee. Maui would be troublesome. Great to get rid of. No, I'm not. Still got 6 other cards. Ooh, a Prince Naveen. And here's just some good questing here. For 5, up to 14. Cinderella is huge. This is going to be a tough game. No, I'm not here. Is going to have to find a way to get rid of this. Questing for 3. And there it is with Lady Tremaine. And I say tough positioning because he only plays 1 Lady Tremaine and 4 Be Prepareds. So he would have had to have found the Be Prep or the Lady Tremaine. So 5 cards. I take that back. He also plays a Dragonfire. So he had lots of cards that could have gotten rid of that Cinderella, but goodness would that have been tough. Brett able to use that Prince Naveen to play A Whole New World. The other problem with Prince Naveen is he quests for 2. I say problem for Kindle. Great for Brett because 2 extra lore on the board is helping him get closer and closer. Simba here, great target for a shift line to also quest. Yeah, I like this because honestly, Brett could shift Simba next turn, quest with everything, untap the Prince Naveen and the Cinderella. No, I'm not here. I think gonna have to find some answers. Quest for 2, maybe Be Prep. Yeah, Be Prep's great. It's a great board to be able to Be Prep on. Because if what I said had become true next turn, would have been tough. Again, though, drawing 7 cards off of A Whole New World, the likelihood of you digging 7 deep into your deck and not finding a Be Prepared when you run 4 of them is unlikely. I mean, I can't see Noimnot's discard pile, but in the sense that I can't read all of his cards. So we don't know how many Be Prepareds are in the banish pile now. Brett here with an aerial and having a hard time trying to find a board state that can stick long enough for him to be able to quest. Lawrence being a 4/4, having no damage, quest for 2. No, I'm not saying I don't want you to quest for 3. Lawrence is enough of a reason to Be Prep that board. Noimnot's gonna have to find a board state that will stick with strong characters like he did in game 2 with, or I should say game 1. No, I guess it was game 2 with the Sisus and the genies that we haven't seen yet. Elsa, cards that can stay on the board a lot longer for anything else. Brett, let's see if he gets something off this aerial. Wasn't able to. That sometimes happens in Steel Song. Again, represents to Kindle 3 questing power on the board. Madame Medusa seeing some good targets in Rapunzel here. And there is a one of Sisu from Noimnot's side of the board, able to clean up Rapunzel and aerial. And no, I'm not really having the exact answer that he needs at the exact time. Taking a look at his discard pile. I believe he's Whole New World 3 times this game. If not, certainly twice. It's tough when he's got those cards without follow-up plays. He is able to get rid of Sisu from Noimnot's side of the board, so he is cleaning up Noimnot's side. But there's going to be a turning point for Noimnot here where he's going to be able to play out genies, rabbits, and just get the card advantage while getting board presence. And that's when we're going to see, I think, Ruby Amethyst do. That's when we can see Ruby Amethyst do turning points and game shifts, even with Brett having 14 lore. This game is certainly not over. This kind of being an indicator of it, playing a Elsa without having a target may mean that Kindle doesn't have too many characters like Madman Snake that have the 3 power body or higher to survive. Ink's a fox. Yeah, the way that Noimnot can come back from this is to keep Brett off of drawing cards and Brett not having as many Whole New Worlds. And in this case, the Whole New World train has probably ended. I want to say that's his 3rd Zeus. He chose to use it on this Madam Mim Snake over playing anything else or knowing that Elsa is going to come down too. There's the Elsa, followed up by a fox. Now I'm not just presenting one character a turn that can quest, but honestly a 4/3 in the form of this Madam Mim Fox. Great card. Double play from Brett. And there's another Along Came Zeus from Brett. Wow. A lot of removal in Steel Song. Is going to take out one of these. Both of these with Belle. Wow. And Brett now with 1 card in hand. And it's the 4th Along Came Zeus. Yeah, opts to discard the Lilo and gets rid of the Belle. Well, we know Brett's going to have a Lilo on his field next turn, but there's an Elsa here fresh and ready to go to challenge into it. Madame Medusa takes care of the Simba. Brett left without a board, only a Lilo in his discard pile, and Noimnot now with a goat. It's going to be top deck from here on out for Brett. I think Kindle has found a great spot and a turnaround to take this game. Here's a genie. Again, playing these characters with higher than 2 toughness will survive now all of Brett's cards, knowing that Zeus is gone. Brett opting to do Let the Storm Rage on Elsa makes sense because now he'll only have the ability to challenge into Lilo only so many times. But that's going to be it. Brett kind of sees it. Noimnot has a board established, was able to control everything Brett had done. Brett just wasn't able to find the Whole New Worlds at the exact time he needed them with the follow-up plays in order to establish his board and make those recurring effects. So there goes game 3. Kindle won it. 2-1 against Brett. Congratulations to our 20 Lore Pro Community Pro, Kindle, aka Noimnot, for winning round 5 here at Charlie's Collectible Show's Lorcana 10K tournament. Again, we want to thank you, the viewers at home, for watching today's tournament and for joining us here on YouTube as we are watching our Community Pro. This was a really exciting tournament, and we're looking forward to going into Continentals to see how the meta shapes up. This has been an exciting season here for Lorcana in the competitive community. Again, I'm SirAshtown, and I was so glad to be able to be here today to announce and to analyze today's game. Both Kindle and Brett did a great job playing here in round 5. We want to thank y'all for watching today's tournament, today's video. We will be following this one with round 6, 7, 8, top 8, and top 4 for Kindle. So if you want to learn how to pilot Ruby Amethyst, getting a masterclass on how to do it, this is the place to be, 20 Lore Pro. We also have our Discord, which has lots of deck discussion channels where you can talk about your deck list or talk about others' deck lists and get ideas on how to play the best in competitive Lorcana. Again, we want to thank Kindle, aka Noimnot, who is a part of Team Labyrinth, for competing in today's tournament and for being willing to being featured as our community pro. Again, thank y'all for watching today's video. We will see y'all in the next one.